Well, hello, my friends. Welcome back to the channel, or if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. I'm T, and this is my YouTube channel, Crumpus Tea and Sewing. So in today's video, I am going to be sharing with you a very special make. So this is the first make of the season, and also it is my birthday dress. So I'm really excited to share with you what I made and share with you about the details of the fabrics that I chose to make this beautiful dress with. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and get into today's video, and I'm going to share with you the details of how I made my birthday dress. So let's start with the patterns that I use to make my birthday dress. So I use two different patterns. I use my TNT pattern, my newly tried and true pattern, the Simplicity S9604. So this is a top pattern that has pleating around the neckline in the front, and as well as some pleating in the back of the neckline. You have two different sleeve variations. You have a flutter sleeve, and you also have a 3/4 length sleeve. You also have the option to make different top variations. So you can make a tunic, you can make a crop variation, or you can make just a regular length variation that stops at around the mid-hip area. So it's a really cool pattern. I really love it. There is a lot of ease in the pattern. So when you go into the pattern, if you decide to make this pattern, just make sure that you do a mock-up to figure out how much ease you need to remove from the pattern, because chances are you will have to remove some ease from the pattern because it is quite a large pattern. So with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and tell you how I hacked this pattern to make it a dress. So the second pattern that I use is the new Look N6623. So this is a simple skirt pattern, very, very easy and for beginners. And the reason why I selected this is because I wanted to have something that not only fit around the bodice, like around the width of the bodice at the bottom of the lower edge of the top, but I also wanted an A-line, not a similar to an A-line type style of a skirt. And so this was one of the patterns that I knew that I made before and that I also could line, because the fabric that I chose needed to be lined. And so that's another reason why I chose this. It also is the length that I wanted for the skirt is perfect. And so that's why I selected this as well. I wanted something really simple and easy because I knew I was going to be paying most of my attention to the top variation or the top portion of the garment. And so that's why I did that. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you about the fabric, because the fabric is sponsored by Minerva, and I'm really grateful for Minerva giving me this opportunity to work with the fabric. I really enjoyed the fabric. And so with the fabric that you're seeing here in this video, this fabric here is a chiffon fabric that is very light in weight, but it's not like most chiffons. So most chiffons that are really transparent and you can really see through them, they tend to snag very, very easily. I didn't have that problem with this chiffon. This is a chiffon that is very soft, very almost like it's a silky, buttery feel. It's just, I can't really explain it, but it is such a beautiful fabric. And although it's thin and it does need to be lined, like I said, it's not like most chiffons that I've worked with. This is a very new development for me in seeing chiffons that are made this way. And so I really enjoyed working with this. It's such a really soft and beautiful fabric. The fabric is a floral fabric, and you have these really large scaled dark purple and light purple and pink purple petals throughout the fabric. And on the background, it is a really soft, muted pink color. So again, I absolutely love this fabric, and it is such a wonderful fabric. At the end of the video, well, not at the end of the video, towards the end of the video, I'm going to share with you a bonus dress and share with you how this dress came to be. So just stay tuned. It is worth the wait, and I'm going to share with you what I did to create this bonus dress. So anyway, for the hack for the top, so I created longer sleeves. So although the sleeve pattern is a 3/4 length sleeve, I wanted a little bit of a longer sleeve because I wanted to smock the end of my sleeves. And so I added about 3.5 inches of length to my sleeve, and that made it so that the sleeve came down just above my wrist. Now in the future, I might add another inch. It's not as long as I thought it would be, and so in the future I would probably add another inch. And as I mentioned before, I did smock the sleeves, and basically what I did, because this is a raglan sleeve and it's a 2-part sleeve, I stitched the seam of the outer, so I stitched this seam here of the outer sleeve, and then I left that sleeve open. I hemmed the bottom of the sleeve pattern by 1/2 inch, and then I smocked going across the sleeve. I went ahead and smocked the lower edge of the sleeve, and I just followed my pressure foot as a guide. I made 5 rows of to smock my lower sleeve. I made 5 rows, and I used my presser foot. And so the edge of the presser foot, each time you do a line of stitching, I think it's going to be about 1/4 inch apart. And so that's what I did to smock it. I didn't do anything fancy. The other thing that I did is I cut off the length of the top, because even though you have a waistline on the top, you don't want to add a skirt to that area where the waistline is indicated on the pattern, because your skirt is going to hang low and your waistline will hang lower. And so I had to cut off about, let's see, 3 to 4 inches is what my notes say, above the waistline area. And so when I cut off that 3 to 4 inches above the waistline area, it made it so that it was it sat at my natural waistline instead of lower than what I would need. For the front skirt, for the pattern for the skirt, I had to add 1 inch on the side of the skirt so that the width of the skirt and the bodice match one another. And so I did have to add some width to the skirt, but for the back skirt, I didn't have to alter it at all. I didn't have to add any width or anything. It was a perfect match to the back of the shirt. The back of the shirt was a perfect match to the back of the skirt, so I didn't have to make any alterations to the back. So I also sewed the skirt to the bodice at 7/8 inch seam allowance. And I did this because I wanted to create a channel in the back, because the pattern for the Simplicity S9604 does call for elastic in the back, or elastic going around the entire shirt for the cropped version. And so I knew that I was going to have some excess fabric, and so I decided to make sure that I chose a skirt pattern that also required elastic. And so that's another reason why I chose the new Look N6623. And so with that said, I created the channel for the back, and then I fed a 1/4 inch wide elastic in the back of the garment. And so that's what I did to create the dress. And so if I haven't shown you already, I'll put pictures and images here so you can see what my dress looks like. And so that's pretty much everything that I did to create my dress. And now that I told you all the details of the dress and gave you some tidbits of the fabric and how the fabric has held up, which again, absolutely love the fabric. It's held up really nicely, and it's not like any chiffon that I've ever worked with. Oh, I want to also say that for my hem, I did a 5/8 hem, and I just turned the edge of my dress under and I stitched it down. So that's all I did for the hem. So now that I have told you all of that good stuff, the tidbits about the dress pattern and also the fabric, now I can share with you my bonus dress. So my bonus dress includes this reversible charmeuse. It's a purple charmeuse dress. So yes, this dress is fully reversible. I'm so happy that it's reversible and that I can actually wear it either on this side, which is the printed version side, or the solid side. I absolutely love this dress. So on the charmeuse side, so let me tell you a little bit more details on how I was able to get this dress to be reversible. So for starters, both the printed version of the dress and the reversible solid side of the dress, they were both sewn completely independent of one another before I put them together. And so what I did to the printed version, I also did to the solid version as well. And so you'll notice that for my sleeves, hopefully, let's see if I can stand back so you can see. So for my sleeves, I smocked my sleeves. And for the purple version, I also smocked my sleeves as well. So when I'm wearing the purple version, the sleeves are going to go a little bit up underneath my sleeve here so that you don't see the purple version here. So when I'm wearing the printed version, I meant to say, you'll see the smocked version here, and I just push this version up so that you don't see any of the reversible side of the dress. Now for the back of the dress, as I mentioned before, each piece was sewn independent of one another, and so the printed side has its own 1/4 inch elastic, and the solid side has its own independent 1/4 inch elastic as well. And the reason why I did it that way is because I knew that I would run the risk whenever you're making a reversible dress or you're having a dress that is used as the under or the overskirt. Sometimes there can be some peaking at the bottom of your hem. And I knew going into the project, okay, what am I going to do so that there's no peaking going on when I'm wearing either side of the dress? And so as I thought about it, I thought, okay, I can put the elastic, instead of sewing the elastic in a way where both sides of the dress would share an elastic, I would do an independent elastic for each version of the dress, and whichever side that I'm wearing, I will hike the other side up just a little bit up underneath the elastic that I'm wearing, if that makes any sense, on the side that I'm wearing. So that way you don't see any peaking. And it's been working perfectly. I absolutely love it because when I raise that elastic in the back for the underskirt, whichever one is the underskirt, acting as the underskirt, when I raise that elastic up underneath the overskirt, it raises the hem a little bit in the front as well. And so there's no peaking, and I absolutely love it. So the only issue that I have that I need to go back and consider and try to fix or whatever is the neckline. So I thought about doing understitching, but if I do understitching, it would have to be to one side. And so which side that would be, I don't know yet. If I do top stitching, then the top stitching will show on both sides. And so I would have to use the top stitching as whatever color I want the top to be, and the understitch, so the bobbin stitch, for the other side, if that makes any sense. And I haven't found the color that I want to match the underside yet, which is this purple color here. And so I haven't done anything to the neckline yet. And so as is, there's no peeking here because I didn't put any stitching around the neckline or understitching. So there's no peeking going on this side. But when I flip it to the other side, there is a little bit of peeking on the underside. And so I have to make sure that I fix that before stitching that in place, and select the stitching, matching thread to both sides, and then it will be done. So I really absolutely love this fabric. I have just a little bit left over that I could probably make a cover up, and so stay tuned for that. I'll make sure that I use all the fabric and show you what else you can do with the fabric as well. But I love this birthday dress, y'all. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. And I'm so happy that it was the first thing that I made in 2023. I think it's going to give me a really great high-spirited mood, and I can go into the year knowing I can accomplish great things. And so I'm really, really excited about this. And so I'm really, really proud of myself, and I'm happy that I was able to accomplish this look. You all let me know in the comment section below what you think of this beautiful birthday dress. And I can't wait to hear your thoughts. Let me know if you made the Simplicity 9604 yet, or if you made the new Look N6623, and what your experience was like when you sewed it. All right, everyone, I hope you all have a blessed and happy sewing week, and I can't wait to share with you my next makes. And until next time, stay creative. Bye.